can do it too. Easy as 1, 2, 3. You can do it too. Come along and draw with me. Pads and pencils, a very good start. So when you draw with your heart. You draw with your heart, 'cause you can do it too. You can do it too. You can do it too.
Hi everybody, my name is Lydia Forte-Santiago, and welcome to the show of You Could Do It Too. Today, what we're going to do is I've lightly sketched a little pug. It's a puppy dog. And then we're going to do like we always do, reinstate it and bring it out. And after that, then the next show, we're going to color it in. My materials, I have my gum eraser. I have a little sharpener because I'm working with some color pencils. And I have a few little pastels for the coloring for later on in the next show. And I have a little magnifying glass, so in case I want to see detail, I just look in to focus in on him and get a few little details. So let's get started. I'm going to start drawing it out. And remember, always remember what I said to you. First, you do it lightly because you're not sure of your drawing. When you're sure of your drawing, you can kind of make it more intense. But first, you start with a light stroke. You don't want to make it, in case there's something that needs to be changed, you could always erase it and kind of start again. So, it doesn't just you have a little patience, and it just works out fine, And this is this is a little puppy, so it's really cute. And how you see I'm drawing out the lines. And right here, he's got a little bit of, now when you do this part, you think of abstract because it's just little shapes that you think of rather than thinking of drawing the puppy, you think of just doing abstract shape. It just makes it a little easier. And then you bring it down and you just follow these little, here's his little nose, and he's got a little bit of darkness under here, which you're going to put in, and we're going to just, that'll be lighter on. And now, you see, after I have the basic, this is the basic drawing. Now what we do after this is what I'm going to take now. Now I actually draw it. Now remember what I told you in the last lesson, like you punch in your darks? So we're going to just punch in some darks here. This is dark. Right here it says ear. This is dark. Punch in the darks. Right here this is dark because his ear is like a little flopping over a little bit. That's dark. Here his eyes, of course, they're dark. Punch in that. Nose, you're going to punch in. Punch in this darks, And then this is a lighter shade, so we're just going to not make it as dark, but we're just going to stroke it a little bit just to show that there's a lighter color there, right in here. And right in here, there's just a little bit underneath his belly there. There's a little color, and in here. So now we have the overlook of the little puppy. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to take my fingers and I'm just going to press this. And this is just to bring it out. And it's really, like I told you before, it's really enjoyable, and it's not difficult to do. It's just what you like to do, and if you have a passion for it, you'll always do it. Now look how easy that is, and how I'm bringing it out. See, it's look at that, and then I just, it's, see, this is, so I'm also reinstating, like I told you before about the reinstating. I'm reinstating, but I am doing it now just with my finger, almost like finger painting. And, you know, there's always different techniques to use, and this is kind of like a basic, easy technique. And now, look how cute he looks already. So this is, see, now what do I do now? Okay, now I go back, and now I'm reinstating. Even with oil, remember I said it's always, with oil, it's thin on thin. So this is like thin on thin, but I'm doing it with pencils and with charcoal. And then I just keep on reinstating this till, and then I look to see where the dark is, his eyes, and of course his nose, his little nose, and right here underneath his mouth there's a little darkness there, you know, like that. And then I just look at his, right here there's a little bit his, now this little pug, you could see like his little fingernails on his feet. And so you draw them. You kind of, you know, and you know what you have to do? You have to keep looking back and forth. You look at it, you look, and if you find it's getting a little difficult, I always work with a magnifying glass. I take my and I zone in. I just look in and see, did I miss anything? And if I did miss anything, well, then I just come back to it. Like right here, there's where his toes are. There's more indentation. So I put them in. In this foot, you could see 4. This, you could see like 3 because the other one is on that side. So you really can't see it. So you do it like that, you know. And then over here, I see this is a little too wide. So, and I just kind of, because he's a puppy, he's little. So I make it a little smaller, you know. Now what I do is, like, again, I reinstate and I go back and I start punching this out a little better. There. And then and this is just to bring out his form. I'm bringing out, I remember when I said before, always light on form, art is light on form, the way the light is hitting, the way the light falls on the puppy. You got to think of it in those terms, the way light is hitting and falling on the puppy. And then you have little shapes here. Now after I kind of get these little shapes in, there and there, you see, and these little pugs, they're very cute. They have a lot of little folds on their fur there, so you got to kind of like put them in. And just by doing this, you know, what am I doing? I'm not even holding a pencil. You just can use it with your fingers, almost like finger painting. And you could just, because you already have the form, so you could already do it like that. Now, like, you look at it and you back up. And now it's time for the gum eraser. So I take the little gum eraser and I just start, I start pressing this. Now, you see? Now there's a shape here. So you think of abstract. There's a little shape here, and it comes down like that. So you could see it clear. Now, like, I'm just bringing these little shapes in that are there. And you bring, now right here on top of the nose, there's also a little highlight there that eventually we'll put in with color. And here, you know, these little cute, they hang. Little jaws down hang, and underneath his mouth here, it's a little lightness, and right in here, you can. Now, when you get to the feet there's a little bit of more color here, so we're going to kind of like highlight this, but leave this tone down, you know. So it looks like. You could see his feet, like on the table there, where he's sitting. and then there's like a highlight here, which is light. So I'm just punching in, you see the lights. And then there's right here where the ear is, that's why you have to keep on looking at this picture, because there's there. See the way that ear falls? So, and then there's like underneath here, there's a light there. See, so, and then also here, there's a little light will be toned down with color, so you could see it. And then to sharpen that ear, I'll make it like that, you know. And that's his neck. This, and then here, right down underneath his paw there, there's a little bit of light, because that's his legs that he's actually sitting on. So we put that like that. So, and this is going to be a lighter shade. So, and this is going to be just, now right, if we look again, you take my magnifying and I look here and I see he's got like a couple of little spots and they look like they're grayish. So there's one here, there's another one over here, there's one here, there's another one here, and there's another one over here, you know. There's like little spots, and then under the eyes a little kind of grayish, like that, you know. Yeah, you could see all those little spots. And then I could kind of reinstate, and I could redefine this like that, and I could bring it over. Now I'm working with, I switch. I'm working with a gray pencil, because later on I'm going to put color in this. So it's going to be like a brownish tan. And then I'm going to bring this down. And here there's a shadow in there. That looks good. And the eye, that's pretty strong. So we're going to kind of bring that out and make the eye there like that. Leave room for there's a little redness underneath here. So you got to leave room for that. And then this can go, this is all brownish in color. So I'm just making it gray. So when I put in my color, I know what's going to be what color. And I just bring it down. And now I just go over this. Everything is like reinstate. Now I take right this and look, I just kind of bring it down. And you do it slow. You see, there's no rush in this. This is like very time, and you just do it slow. And you follow the lines, you know. And then here's this little paw is coming out, leaning and he's really cute. And you bring it from, I guess, up here. I would bring it down, and then I would bring it out like that, because here you see 1, 2, 3, and then you see the other one there. Because as I'm looking at this, I see, yeah, the little nails. You know, they have nails. These little pit bulls have nails. Yeah, like that. And then I come up here where his stomach is going to be, and I put it down like that. And so what I'm doing is just reinstating it, and I'm doing it slow, so you could see what I'm doing. And there. Now this is beginning to shape up. Now we look at it, we focus on, and we look and see what, you know, we're doing. And I go back and I start with the head. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to draw like that. And I'm going to bring it. And remember what the show says. You could do it too. If I could do it, you certainly could do it, you know. And I bring that down. So you kind of, you know, feel your way, because these little bulldogs, they have a lot of little folds, and now to pop up that shape, I pop up that shape, so I'm reinstating that, go like this, you know, and just and like that. See, so you could see it. Now this is like a little minutia. So I take my gummy razor and I'm just going to do this little cleaning. And just so see, like over here I went too far out. So now I clean. And here I think I went a little far out too. This could be his little paws. I mean, he's only a little puppy, so he's not really that full grown. Over there, if you see my picture at the end, that's full grown. He's like, but he's just a little puppy. So we don't want to make it look like he's full grown, because he's not. And you know, every little detail matters. Detail matters. What you do matters. Here he has 3 toes because the other one is back here, and you really can't see that. So we'll kind of leave that out. And in here, he's a little dark, and right here, I can press that out and bring it out like that. Yeah, so you could see dark over here a little bit. And then let me see what goes underneath there. Oh yeah, his chin. Yeah, yes, yeah. So you could see it, and you could just make it a little not so big, you know. But, you know, you have to keep looking at this, because the more you look at it, the better, the keener your eye becomes at this. Because, like I told you before, it's not one pass. You have to keep on passing this over and over again to get this just right. You know, it doesn't just happen like that. You got to keep on, you know, work it up, you know, like that, you know. See if I went over it, so I'll just clean it out. This is going to be a different shade. That's just to indicate my colors. And I bring it in, and this is going to be light, so we'll just kind of, that's white, yeah. So now we have the overall puppy and what it kind of looks like. So now you can just kind of be more confident about it, and you can start, like you see my stroke is not like when I started. When you start, everything is light, everything is just touch and look and touch and lightly. But when you're sure, you come on strong. So the more sure you are, the stronger you become. So now if I'm cleaning, now I'm pressing hard, because if I'm doing it, I go harder. If I see right underneath the ear, I press hard. If I see a highlight in here, right there, so I can go a little harder. You see? So now I'm actually bringing this little puppy out. See? You could see. And then right, you don't see it because I don't think you're not close enough, but right, if I look here at his eyes, right in here, there's going to be a little tone of reddish, and it's the corner of the eye. So I have to put that there, because if I'm going to make this look like a three-dimensional, I have to put that color in when in my next show. So I need that little space to remind myself that it's there. Yeah. So all these little details matter. You have to do them all. If you miss, then you know, like you haven't created it the way you wanted to. So then you go back to it and you do it again. Now I'm just bringing out the lines, and they have a lot of folds. These little dogs have a lot of little folds, and I really want to bring them out. There's like one over here, so I want to just kind of highlight that and bring it out. There's another little fold, and then there's like a little fold here, you know, and all these little folds that they have. One here, you know, and then, like, again, I kind of reinstate this there. I see that line pronounced. See, so you have to keep looking at this back and forth. You can't just like do it and that's it. You have to look at it and you have to check it, you know, and then you can actually focus in and get it. And there's a different shade of color there. It's a little pinkish right up here, so I have to remind myself that's what makes the, you know, right here the focal point of his nose and not come out. So that you want to do that too, you know. Yeah. And then as you see, like this is the ear. The ear comes down here. You could see that ear. Yeah. So now you could actually see what this puppy's going to look like, you know, and you can press. See, I'm always like, and he's like he's a puppy, but he's like a little he's chubby. He's a healthy puppy, obviously. Yeah. He's getting a little injection there. I got this from a magazine. He's being vaccinated. There. Now, if you have a little dog like this, like I mentioned before to you, you take your cell phone, you take a little picture, and then you kind of can copy it. And you first do it. First you do it with black and white. Black and white is easier. It's not difficult. After you get the black and white, then after the drawing part, in the Art Students League, when I went to the Art Students League, they said if your drawing is correct and your drawing is right, then what happens is your painting will be right, your pastel will be right. But if you miss out on the drawing and you miss out on the effect of it, you're not gonna get it. You're not gonna like when you go paint it. Even in all these paintings, portraiture, the drawing has to be correct, you know. That's why sometimes they say, it's like before I even started to doing this, you know, for you beginners, I teach advanced, I teach beginners, you know, to guide them to get better like I was taught. But if you're starting out, you could, like I started with a drawing class. I took a lot of drawing classes. And that's the way I began. I didn't do the painting because that was a little difficult, so I didn't get into that right away. It's challenging. I shouldn't say difficult, but challenging. And I didn't do the pastel. First, I just started with black and white drawings, because once you get the drawing right and this medium of drawing, then you could say, well, gee, now I'm going to move it. Now I'm going to either test it out with pastel, which I did. It's like I went from the drawing, which is all these pencils, and then I took classes in drawing. Then after the drawing class, I moved into pastel. So I took, like, these are pastels, my soft pastels that I use, which are easy to use, like I did with this. You could do that with the soft pastel, and they blend easy, and you could get a nice effect. So that I did. Then after I sort of succeeded in capturing my pastel look, then I said, gee, I don't want to do that no more. Now I want to do it in oil. So I transferred and I started. All those are in oil paint, you know. So I changed and I went to oil. You know. But first start with the drawing. The drawing is very, very important. Do the drawing, and then after the drawing, then you can do the pastel if you like pastel. Some people like watercolor, and they do it in watercolor. I mean, everybody, you kind of find out the technique that you like best, and that's the technique that you use. See, now he looks very cute, and he's coming to life, this little stomach here. And over here, if you look at this closely, right here, there's like a little point. So let me just remind myself when I start doing the color, I'll do that. And then it goes down around his stomach. It goes down like that. So you could see that, you know. And then right over here, if you look at that picture, you could see there's a little white. That's probably from his hind legs in the back. That's probably a little lighter. And then this is going to be all one shade. That's going to be like brown, you know, because that's the color that he is. Now he's looking kind of precious. And then you keep your clean. I try to keep this all clean. This what I'm doing today, this is like I'm doing it on a canvas board. I wanted to change, instead of the newsprint, I did it on a canvas board, you know. There. And now it looks pretty. And here there's a little lightness there. So remember, always remember that if I do it, you could do it too. You know, it's easy as 1, 2, 3. And you have to have a passion, you have to like it, and it's calming, it's soothing, it's very, very relaxing. It relieves a lot of stress, and it's just fun to do. So the purpose of this is I want to motivate the kids, I want to motivate adults, I want to motivate people, senior citizens. A lot of us have talent and we don't tap in on it. That's the thing, because we're busy with our lives, our busy schedules, and we should not let it go. And my purpose here is to keep art alive, to pass it on to you. And when you get it, you pass it on to somebody else, and somebody will pass it on to somebody else. This is art. Art should not die. Art should live on forever. You know, and there's new forms of art. Picasso did his Cubism, and some of the artists at Renoir did impressionistic art. There's always different, and maybe you or someone could become another Picasso and do a different type of art and start up a new different type of art. So it keeps it alive. It's learning. It's passing it on to you, and you passing it on to somebody else. So this is really the purpose of the show. The purpose of the show is to tap in on your potential. Don't let it. I've met a lot of people out there that I've had conversations with, and they draw very good. And I've been impressed when I've seen their paintings, because they've come to 21 Forest Avenue and showed me my artwork. I said, come in, I'll give you critique, free critique, and I'll guide you with whatever you're doing. And they're talented, but they're not doing enough of it because of their job. So find a spare time, lunchtime, or if you have a couple of hours after work or something, and tap in. Don't let it go by. Pass it on to your children or your family members. And if you see somebody has the talent, encourage them. Let them get into it. Like I got into it. I was encouraged by my father. I was encouraged by a lot of people, by art teachers. And this is why I kept up at it. Otherwise, I probably would have let it go. And it would have been a sin to let it go, because if you have an ambition and a talent, you should really stick to it, you know. Now look how nice he looks. Over here, we could darken it a little bit, right here. I'll darken it a little, because this is going to be dark. And he's got these little things. So, you know, the more you look at this picture, the more I look at it, the more things pop up and you see, you know. You just keep on seeing things. Now I'm just cleaning off, because some of this has a little messy things around here that so I'm just cleaning it off to make, so this way in the next show when I come out with my color, I'll be able to do it and it'll be neat. Always work neat. Keep everything clean and neat, you know, so it looks fine. It looks smart. You know, you don't want to make it like messy, or, you know, you take any excess lines and keep everything fitted like that's into the line when you do your color too. You know, you do everything so it looks, and you get used to working like. And another thing I want to mention to you, don't rush. Always take your time. Make sure that you do this like in slow motion, like you have all day. You know, there's no rush to do this. You know, you have all day. You know, I always tell that to my students. I say don't rush. It's not about speed. It's about quality. So keep it in mind. Quality is of essence. So hope you connect with me in the next show and see this. It was nice being with you, and I had a pleasure passing on my knowledge to you. Thank you.